Welcome back, OCAA fans. We are currently playing another soccer game between the Durham Lords and the Algonquin Wolves. Currently, the starting lineup for the Algonquin Wolves is Paige King, Avery Cameron, Kayla De Silva, Cassandra De Cruz, Alexis Benz, Lisa Harthill, Caitlin Pavone, Michaela Pearl, Samantha Jones, and Jasmine Young. And on our home field side, we have a starting lineup of Kelsa Otangu, sorry if I mispronounced that, Sage Thomas Roberts, Renee Messias, sorry, Erin Michalka, Isabel Sullivan, Erica Bjorgum, Chloe Herrica, Jessica Ferreira, Olivia Chichia, Jamie Pye, and Emily Arn. Currently, our Durham Lords goalkeeper is setting up a kick. A nice big kick all the way to the midfield. The Wolves catch it. Currently, Wolves are pushing it down our lane, and we push back. Wolves are once again in possession of the ball. And now our Durham Lords push it out of the field. Ball is back in play with possession on our side again, and it's kicked out. Ball is back in play. Wolves have possession at the moment. There's a scramble for the ball. We gain possession back, and the Wolves manage to seal it back. A big pass down to Enfield, and just a slight miss from the Wolves. The ball is currently out of play and being reset. And the ball is back in play with a beautiful kick over to our Lords. And the Algonquin scored. Number 3 of the Algonquin Wolves with a big score. Beautiful kick by our goalkeeper, and it goes straight to our Durham Lords, number 10. Oh, sorry, number 11. Tries to make a pass, but it's blocked. An attempted goal, but it just misses the goalpost. Alright, the ball is currently out of play. There's a big scramble down at the middle of the field, close to the spectators. Currently, we are in possession of the ball. We're running it down. Oh, got blocked. We pass the ball back. Currently, Algonquin is pushing it down our field. Our goalkeeper manages to protect our ball. And it is now back in play with number 0. Oh, sorry, number 6. Ball is currently out of play, being handled by number 6 on our team, which is Aaron McCallica. The ball is currently in our zone, and we kicked it out. Currently, we are setting up a corner kick. As it's set near our goalpost, it flies just over top. Currently, we are in possession of the ball. 6 passed over to 8. 8 passed over to 21. 21 lost possession of the ball. 24 picked up the ball on our side. We kicked it down over to their end. And currently we have some of our ladies hustling to recover the ball. And it is out of play now. Ball is now back in play. Now Algonquin currently has possession. There's a little bit of a scramble for the ball. And it goes back out of play. Currently, the Algonquin goalkeeper is in possession of the ball, setting up a nice kick. She sends it down. It's about half field. 15 of Durham Lords catches it. There's currently a scramble, and it goes into the infield. Currently, Algonquin setting up a kick. Big kick. Right into our quarter of the field. We're sending it back straight into the center. Nope, it currently is going back into our quarter. Number 8 is rushing the ball down into center field, and it is unfortunately kicked out of play. Algonquin sends it back into play. 16 picks up the ball, passes it to 11. Currently, number 8 of the Durham Lords has possession of the ball. 21 now has it. She had an unfortunate tumble. Here's a call. Number 6 of the Durham Lords is currently setting up a nice kick. Here she goes. She winds up. Big kick at the ball. Goalkeeper for the Algonquins catches it. She sends it straight into the middle. Number 14 of Durham Lords caught it. Oh, we send it back over to Algonquin side. Goalkeeper saves it again, sends it back over to our end. Number 6 tries to recover, but the ball goes out of play. Currently the Lords are looking to score, but they're denied. And number 6, Cassandra De Cruz kicks it over to the goalkeeper, but misses. Current scramble for the ball, but the Algonquin Wolves are in possession. Big pass over to number 18 of the Algonquin Wolves. Lots of pressure on our Durham Lords at the moment. We get possession of the ball. We send it back into center field. Big pass to... Big score by Avery Cameron of the Durham Lords. Or no, sorry, Sage Thomas. Algonquin currently in possession of the ball. Our Lords are putting pressure on them. They recover the ball from them. Unfortunately, the ball is also sent out of play. Now the ball is in possession of Algonquin. Big pass by Algonquin, but a big intercept by our player. Send it back to regain control of the ball. Pass up to number 3, Sage Thomas Roberts. Unfortunately, the ball is sent out of play. Ball's back in play with a little scramble for the ball. Currently, we send it back into their half of the field. Big scramble with our player, Sage Thomas, for the ball currently. She gets some help from the other Durham Lords, and the Algonquin Wolves kick it back closer to the center of the field. We gain repossession of the ball. Big kick from Algonquin, sending it back center. Currently, we have possession of the ball. Big block by Algonquin right there, and the ball sent out of play. Algonquin currently in possession of the ball, sending it down center field. Our Durham Lords intercept, and there's a big call. Algonquin sends it down. Our Lords manage to bounce it back a little bit. Algonquin in possession of the ball. Algonquin passes back to gain more control. Algonquin driving it down at the moment. Huge block from our Durham Lords. Great passing as well. Big interception by Algonquin, which sends it down to our Lords, and our Lords gain repossession. Algonquin now in possession of the ball. Good save from our goalkeeper. Big kick from the goalkeeper, which sends it back into center field. Currently, we have possession of the ball, Durham Lords. Algonquin now possesses the ball. A big interception from our Durham Lords. Pass back to Algonquin. Durham Lords in possession of the ball once again. Currently a big sprint towards the goal. Algonquin is managing to defend right now. And they send it back into center field all the way down to our end goal. Oh, goalkeeper with a huge hit, which sends it straight into one of our players. Another huge hit, which sends it to Algonquin. Algonquin passes back into center field. Durham Lords in possession. Algonquin kicks it back into center field. Our Lords are in possession again. Big pass from our Durham Lords. Back into their side of the field. Algonquin in possession of the ball. Good defense on them. And they send it straight back into center field. Algonquin sending it straight into our half of the field. It looks like some very good defense on our ladies right here. Currently, we're sending it back into center field. Great defense from Algonquin. They managed to take the ball back. Big kick from Algonquin. Our goalkeeper manages to save it. Algonquin kicks the ball right out of play. Now it's up to our Durham Lords. Algonquin in possession of the ball. Huge pressure from number 3, Sage Thomas Roberts. She's managing to keep the attack on. Algonquin manages to send it back into center field, but our Durham Lords manage to repossess the ball, and there's a turnover. Durham Lords back in possession of the ball. Huge kick down center field. Algonquin manages to gain possession of the ball, but they kick it out of play. Huge pressure from our Durham Lords. An attempt on the goal was made, but defense is solid on Algonquin's side. Ball is currently in possession of the goalkeeper. As she kicks it over to the ref for a corner kick. Huge setup from our Durham Lords. Will they be able to gain control of the ball and make yet another goal? Huge kick. There's a big scramble, and the ball goes out of play. Huge kick from the Algonquin goalkeeper, which lands back into our number 3, Sage Thomas. She's currently running the ball straight towards the end goal. Huge kick from her, but it just barely misses. We managed to gain possession of the ball once again. Our Durham Lords gain possession, attempt a goal, but the Algonquin goalkeeper manages to catch it. Big kick from the Algonquin goalkeeper, and there's a little bit of a foul play, a small bump. Currently Algonquin in possession of the ball due to a small foul play on our side, well, from our side. A big kick from her. Will we be able to recover? Yep, and Durham Lords are currently in possession. Our Durham Lords are hustling to keep control of that ball. Big pass. And Algonquin manages to play really good defense, gain repossession of that ball. Pass it down to middle field, and currently our Lords are in possession of the ball. Big defense from Algonquin again. Here we go, big moment. And the Algonquin goalkeeper manages to secure the ball. Huge kick from the Algonquin goalkeeper, sends it straight into center field. Our Lords get the first touch on the ball, and it's back in Algonquin's feet. Currently a little struggle in the center field. Algonquin kicks it down. Durham Lords recover, pass it back up. Big kick from our Lords as they pass it down straight into Algonquin territory. Really good offense on our Durham Lords, managing to keep that ball. Big kick towards the goalkeeper, just misses the goal. Ball is currently out of play. Currently Algonquin in possession of the ball at center field. Huge kick from Algonquin. And the ball is sent out of play by our Durham Lords. Ball is currently in play, and there's a big scramble. Algonquin just misses our goalkeeper. Our goalie currently has possession of the ball. She's looking for a good setup from our Durham Lords. She plants the ball. Little wind up from her. Small pass. Great passing from our team, the Durham Lords. Big kick into center field. Algonquin manages to secure. ball is currently being pushed down into our zone. Algonquin with great control right now. Huge block from our Durham Lords. I hope she's okay. That looked like a nasty leg kick. Ball's back into play with Algonquin in possession. Algonquin with a big pass. Misses. Our goalkeeper manages to secure the ball. She's looking for a good setup. Passes it down over into our end, over to the center field. Currently we have possession of the ball. Ball is kicked up to Algonquin territory. And Algonquin kicks it out of play right over the stadium. The ball is currently in the streets. Ball's back in play with it going right back out of play. Ball's back into play. Currently a little struggle right now. Plenty of headbutts going towards that ball. Our Durham Lords are fighting the Algonquins, and the ball is kicked out. I'm not sure by whom. Looks like by our Durham Lords. Algonquin currently in possession of the ball, waiting to kick it back into play. Big toss from Algonquin. Algonquin stays in control of the ball. Our Durham Lords seem to play good defense as they've gotten possession of the ball. Algonquin charges. Durham passes. Big save from Durham, saving it from going out of play. Currently we have great control. Huge kick. Durham currently in possession of the ball. Another great pass from our Durham Lords. Putting a lot of pressure on Algonquin right now. Algonquin gets control. Kicks it back into center field. Durham back in control at center field. Managing to keep that ball in a safe space. We kick it towards our goalkeep. Goalkeep with a good pass. Sending it back into center field. We have control of the ball currently. Another big kick. Algonquin tries to steal. Currently we are in possession of the ball. Huge play coming from our team. Big pass towards our team. Algonquin defends. Durham struggling right now to get possession of the ball. Algonquin manages to pass it. Intercepted by our Durham Lords. Huge shot towards the goal. And it barely just misses. Currently the ball is out of play, being passed over to Algonquin's goalkeep. She's looking for a great opportunity to pass the ball. Waiting for setup. Huge kick from the Algonquin goalkeep. One big headbutt from Algonquin. Durham Lords currently in possession of the ball at center field. And our Lords are currently trying to defend the ball at center field. Big pass from one to another. Another big pass. Algonquin intercepts and blocks it. We're back in possession of the ball. We send it a little back towards the center of the field to gain possession. Kick it straight into Algonquin territory. And Algonquin kicks the ball out of play. Ball is currently back in play with a big... Oh, no. The ball is now back out of play. Currently a big scramble at Algonquin's goalkeep. Durham Lords in possession. We're looking for the goal. Big block by the Algonquins. Algonquins are managing to push it away from the goalkeeper. Durham Lords send it out of play. Algonquin getting ready. Big toss back into play. Algonquin in possession of the ball at the moment. Big pass down center field all the way into our end zone. Goalkeeper manages to intercept. Kicks it straight back into center field. And right out of play. Algonquin currently looking for a good setup. Sends it back into play. Algonquin in possession of the ball. Currently, Algonquin has the ball possessed in the center of the field as they regroup and reorganize and try to strategize a way to penetrate our defense. Defense is holding strong at Durham as we manage to catch the ball. It's a big kick, and the ball is sent towards the spectators. Algonquin in possession of the ball once again, passing it down center field. Durham Lords managed to defend a big pass from Algonquin. Algonquin back in possession of the ball. Our Durham Lords are back in possession of the ball now. Algonquin retakes the ball. And our Durham Lords managed to overtake again, reclaiming the ball. Durham just barely saving it from the end zone. And Algonquin is back in possession of the ball. Durham Lords in possession of the ball on their side of the field. It's a big pass. Algonquin. I think Algonquin kicked that ball out of play. Here we go. Durham throws it back into play. Algonquin manages to intercept with a headbutt. Our Durham Lords managed to pick up the ball. Algonquin back in possession. Small slip on Algonquin's side. Recovered. They managed to get possession of the ball. Currently dribbling it. Huge kick from Algonquin. Durham Lords managed to catch the ball. Big kick from Durham back to Algonquin. Algonquin currently in possession of the ball. Back at center field. Big pass from Algonquin. Durham in possession of the ball once again near our end field. Goalkeeper picks up the ball. Big pass over to our Durham Lords. Algonquin looking for the goal right now. Big scramble, and the ball is kicked out of play. Currently right now, Algonquin in possession of the ball. Durham Lords managed to intercept. A small slip from our Durham Lords, which resulted in the possession of the ball of Algonquin. Algonquin passes it towards our goalkeeper. Algonquin with a big kick. Our Durham Lords manage to charge and retake the ball. Back into center field. Good offense from our Durham Lords. The ladies are currently running it down to Algonquin's end. Big pass. There's a small tumble. And Algonquin kicks the ball out of play. Currently a scramble for the ball, and the ball goes right back out of play. Oh. Huge kick from our Durham Lords. The girls are currently scrambling for the ball. The ball is kicked and it goes out of play. Goalie, Algonquin's goalie currently has possession of the ball. She's looking for a good setup from her girls. Currently setting up the ball. They're going to make one of those huge power kicks. Big kick from her. Currently in Algonquin's hands. Bit of a tumble in the center between Algonquin and Durham. Huge kick from Algonquin, since it's straight into Durham territory. Durham currently defending that ball. Algonquin still in possession. She's looking to pass it off, back into center field. The Algonquin girls currently playing very good offense, as they're able to keep the ball away from Durham. Algonquin passing the ball, looking for that opening. Currently running it straight towards the goalkeeper. Big pass. Durham's goalkeeper manages to gain possession of the ball. She's looking for a good pass from the girls, waiting for everything to be organized. Here she goes, big kick, straight into center. Durham manages to get the first touch, but Algonquin ultimately ends up with the ball, and the ball is kicked out of play. Durham currently in possession of the ball, and it's kicked out of play. Ball's back into play with possession on Algonquin's side. Currently kicking it straight down towards our goal. Algonquin kicks it. Goalkeeper manages to catch it. Small pass from our goalkeeper to our Durham Lords. The girls are currently playing very good passing. Algonquin in possession of the ball currently. Big pass to number 11. Looks like a small accident may have occurred. She got kicked in the shin. She's down at the moment. Ball is currently in Algonquin's position. Good defense from our Durham Lords. They managed to stop the ball. We are currently in possession, and the ball is kicked out of play. Looks like one of the Algonquin Wolves is hurt pretty badly. She's down on her knees right now. Hopefully she isn't too seriously hurt and can keep playing. Number 11 of Algonquin Park, Lisa Hartle, currently walking off field as she is injured. Ball is currently back into play. Ball headed towards our goalkeeper. Our goalkeeper manages to catch it, picks it up. She's looking for good positioning from our girls, passes it over to our Durham Lords. Algonquin with possession of the ball. Currently they're driving it. A failed pass which results in just barely a recovery from Algonquin, and the ball is now out of play. Ball is back into play with a huge kick. Algonquin charges, kicks the ball, and our goalkeeper doesn't need to block the ball because it's now out of play. Goalkeeper in possession of the ball, looking for a good setup from our Durham Lords. Trying to make an excellent pass. Here's the big windup. Followed by a big kick. Sends it straight into center field. Algonquin gains possession of the ball, and there's whistles blown.
We've come a long way since our doors first opened. Though our beginnings were modest, our vision was bold. With each passing decade, we grew. Times changed, and we adapted. We evolved, and we delivered. Market-driven programs that get our grads jobs. Seamless support services that wrap around our students. Sustainable practices that protect our earth. For the past 10 years, our mission ensured that the student experience came first at Durham College. But we've reached a tipping point. As we reflect on all we've accomplished and look closely at where we stand, it's clear. We're not just putting the student experience first, we're reinventing it. What's happening on our campuses, across our communities, and around the globe is a DC-grown and led transformation of the way we learn, the way we teach, the way we work, live, and lead. The many paths to post-secondary education merge and weave in so many new ways, and our approach to delivering that education, advanced learning that innovates, inspires, and changes lives, is just as varied. We are shaping this transformation shoulder to shoulder, heads down while working hard, but always with clear eyes on the future. This is our stake in the ground. We are DC, and together, we are leading the way. We've come a long way since our doors first opened. Though our beginnings were modest, our vision was bold. With each passing decade, we grew. Times changed, and we adapted. We evolved, and we delivered. Market-driven programs that get our grads jobs. Seamless support services that wrap around our students. Sustainable practices that protect our earth. For the past 10 years, our mission ensured that the student experience came first at Durham College. But we've reached a tipping point. As we reflect on all we've accomplished and look closely at where we stand, it's clear. We're not just putting the student experience first, we're reinventing it. What's happening on our campuses, across our communities, and around the globe is a DC-grown and led transformation of the way we learn, the way we teach, the way we work, live, and lead. The many paths to post-secondary education merge and weave in so many new ways, and our approach to delivering that education, advanced learning that innovates, inspires, and changes lives, is just as varied. We are shaping this transformation shoulder to shoulder, heads down while working hard, but always with clear eyes on the future. This is our stake in the ground. We are DC, and together, we are leading the way.
Welcome back to the second half of the OCAA Durham Lords versus Durham Lords versus the Algonquin Wolves. Algonquin currently in possession of the ball. taking their time, getting everything set up. Algonquin still in possession of the ball, taking their time, getting good setup. Big pass into the center of the field. The ball is currently going, and Durham Lord's goalkeeper manages to protect the ball, kicks it back into center field. A little bit of a scramble between Algonquin and Durham. Algonquin currently in possession. Algonquin driving it straight down into the heart of our field again. And the ball is kicked out of play. They're showing some spirit now. Algonquin with a big kick towards the goalkeeper. Our goalkeeper catches the ball. Currently looking for a good setup from our Durham Lords. Small pass over to our Durham Lords. Algonquin running up. Manages to get the small scramble with the Lords. Algonquin in possession of the ball, passing it. Interception by our Durham Lords. Ball is currently in center field. And the ball seems to have fallen out of play. Ball's back into play, currently in possession of the Durham Lords. Make a big kick. It's currently blocked by Algonquin. Algonquin fighting back. Ball is currently heading towards... Oh, no, there's a scramble near the edge of the field. Algonquin with a big kick. Algonquin in possession of the ball at the moment. As they drive it back into center field. The ball is passed. Durham Lords intercept. Take the ball. Repossession back in the center of the field. Big kick from our player. And there's a flag that was waved. I'm not too sure why. No. Nice defense from... No, Durham Lords have kicked the ball back into play. Currently have possession. We're looking for a goal right here. The ball is kicked and a goal is found. That currently puts Algonquin Wolves at 0, Durham Lords at 3. Algonquin currently in possession of the ball as they're running it straight into center field. Big pass from the Algonquin Wolves straight over to our side. Our goalkeeper manages to catch it. Good defense on the Durham Lords. She safely passes it over. Our Durham Lords currently looking for a pass intercepted by the Algonquin Wolves. And the ball is sent out of play. The ball is back into play, sent into center field. Algonquin currently in possession of the ball. Our Durham Lords managed to seal it. The ball is kicked a little too hard. We're fighting to get possession of that ball. Algonquin manages to get control, and the ball is kicked out of play. Currently, our Durham Lords are back in possession of the ball. Little pass into the center of the field. We pass it back to gain more control. The Wolves charge. Durham passes. We keep the ball in play. Currently, we find ourselves in a sticky situation as the Algonquins manage to take back the ball. Good passing skills on our Algonquin, managing to keep the ball in their possession as the Durham Lords press on. Big pass from Algonquin. Back into center field. Another big pass. The aggression is on. Algonquin is looking. They're trying to find an opening. They may have found one. Durham Lords managed to defend, kick the ball back towards the center of the field. Algonquin pushes back a little bit. Durham catches the ball, sends it back into center field. Currently, we are in possession of the ball. Big pass. Big pass from our Durham Lords, pressing on the attack, looking for that goal. A small tumble. Algonquin currently in possession of the ball. They're holding good defense right now. She's looking for the pass. Pass is completed. Back into the center of the field. Our Durham Lords are looking to recover the ball, and we kick it out of field. The ball is currently no longer in play. Algonquin sends the ball back into play. They have possession of the ball. They're looking to make a great pass. Our Durham Lords intercept. We send it back into center field. Algonquin manages to recover the ball. The ball looks like it's going to roll outside of play. Our Durham Lords looking for a good setup on the ball. We pass it into the enemy territory. Algonquin currently in possession of the ball, and the ball is kicked out of play by our Durham Lords. Ball is currently back into play. Algonquin with a strong pass back to the center, back into their side of the field. Ball is currently being passed up into the middle of the field. As they press on, big kick, big kick. Will they be able to recover the ball and make a goal? The ball is kicked, and Algonquin makes a goal. Number Number 16 for Algonquin, which is Michaela Pearl, with a huge goal. Making things 1 for Algonquin and 3 for Durham. Algonquin back in possession of the ball at center field. They're looking to keep control. Durham manages to take control of the ball. Great aggression on Durham's side, sending it straight over to Algonquin's goalkeeper. Algonquin's goalkeeper manages to get possession of the ball. She's looking for a pass to her teammates. Currently holding the ball, giving time for strategy. Big kick back into the center of the field by Algonquin. Durham manages to kick it. Algonquin recovers. Good defense on them. Big passes from Algonquin, keeping center control of that ball. As they send it into the heart of our field, and the ball is currently out of control. And the ball is now out of play. Ball is back into play. Currently, Durham Lords are in possession. Algonquin's looking to take that ball from us. We play good defense. We're keeping control of that ball, keeping it away from the Wolves. Ball is passed into center field. We gain control of the ball once again. Big kick from our player, blocked by the Algonquin Wolves. Another big kick. Algonquin's goalkeeper manages to recover, and there's a small collision between our Durham Lords and the goalkeeper for Algonquin. It looks like she's hurt at the moment. What a champ. Algonquin's goalkeeper manages to stay in even after the collision. She's looking for a good setup for her team. Here comes one of her big power kicks. She winds up, and boom, sends it straight into center field. Our Durham Lords headbutt it. Algonquin's getting control of the ball. Durham Lords in possession of the ball. Good control on Durham Lords, keeping that ball into play. Algonquin manages to intercept, passes it, as they're sending it down into the heart of our field. It's in center. Currently they're driving, looking for a good opening. Good passing from Algonquin, as they send it deeper and deeper into our home field. The ball is kicked. Durham gains control, sends it back closer to the center. Algonquin in possession. Durham back in possession. Algonquin with a steal. They're looking for that goal. They're looking for a setup. Looks like a small tumble for the Wolves, which gives possession of the ball to Durham. Durham sends it back into center field. Algonquin intercepts, sends it back into the heart of our territory. Durham goalkeeper manages to catch the ball. She's in control. She's waiting for a good setup for her team. Big kick from our Durham Lords. Sends it back into center field. Algonquin manages to gain possession of the ball. The ball is kicked into our territory. Algonquin currently in possession, making a kick for the goal. Just misses the goalpost. And the ball ends outside of the zone. Ball is back into play, currently in possession of Algonquin. Algonquin looking to make a good setup. Good passes from Algonquin, putting the pressure on for Durham Lords. Durham Lords kick the ball out of play. Small collision between Algonquin and Durham. Currently ball in possession of the Wolves. Wolves are looking to make that goal. A little scramble for the ball. Currently in possession of Durham. Currently it looks like one of our Durham Lords is down after a little kick to the shin. Looks like the ball is about to go back in play. Big toss from our Durham Lords. We have possession of the ball currently. The ball is sent out of play. Our Durham Lords currently waiting to kick the ball. Big kick from our Durham Lords. Algonquin manages to gain possession of that ball. Little scramble in the center of the field. Our Lords fought for possession of the ball and they have gotten it. Currently we're working on sending that ball straight into the heart of the enemy territory. The ball is kicked a little too hard. Algonquin gains possession of the ball. And the ball is kicked out of play. Big scramble for the ball. Currently Durham Lords are in possession of the ball. Driving the ball further into enemy territory, Algonquin manages to push back a little bit. We gain control of the ball once again. Small scramble. Algonquin currently driving the ball away from their goal. Small accident, failed pass, and the ball is out of play. Currently Durham setting up, waiting to get that ball back into play. The ball is tossed. Algonquin in possession of the ball. They pass. Ball is currently in possession, and Durham Lords accidentally kicked the ball out of play. Algonquin currently looking for a good setup. Ball is tossed back into play. Algonquin with possession. Algonquin looking to make a big kick, hoping that they can get a goal on our Durham Lords. But the ball is in play. Durham Lords tackle it. Goalkeeper manages to save it. She's in possession of the ball, looking for a good setup. Tosses the ball back over to our side. Currently we're in possession of the ball. The ball is currently at center field. We pass the ball up. He's still in possession of the ball. Looks like a small collision, and the ball was kicked out of play. Durham Lords currently looking to make a good setup. The ball is passed. Currently in possession of the ball, looking for good control, passing it closer to the center of the field. We're driving currently straight towards the goalkeeper. The shot is made, but it just misses the goalpost. Ball is currently back in play and in possession of Algonquin. Algonquin with a big pass. Ball is currently in the center of the field. Ball is passed further into Durham's area, and ball is now out of play. Ball's back into play, currently in possession of the Algonquin Wolves. Algonquin looking for good structure, good setup. They try to make a pass. Algonquin recovers the ball. Durham Lords are currently looking for some hole in their defense. It looks like it's going to be a turnover. It looks like we're getting the ball, and the ball just went out of play by the Algonquin Wolves, if I'm not mistaken. Ball's back into play. It looks like Algonquin Wolves have control of the ball once again. Currently in center field, looking for a way to penetrate our defense and get it back down. Durham manages to intercept the pass. Algonquin back in possession, leading it back into center field. Durham back in control of the ball. Big pass from our Durham, and the ball goes out of play. Ball's back into play. Looks like a small out of play again. Algonquin stellar goalkeeper with the ball once again. Will she make one of those big kicks? Here she comes as she sets up with the ball. Looking for a big kick. Sends it straight into the center of the field. Algonquin looking for possession of the ball, but Durham Lords find it. Durham currently in possession as they send it further down into Wolf territory. Here they are weaving. Oh, no. Algonquin manages to take the ball back, sending it back into center field. Looking for a big pass. Durham Lords manage to intercept. Durham currently in possession. Sending the ball back a little bit to gain more control. A little close to that edge, and the ball is kicked out of play by Algonquin. Durham passing that ball back into play. Algonquin manages to find it and kicks it out of play. Durham tosses the ball in. Currently have possession of the ball. Attempting a big kick. Blocked by Algonquin. The whistle is blown. Durham currently in possession of the ball, waiting for setup. She winds up, big kick. Durham meets the headbutt, but accidentally knocks it out of play. Ball's back into play. Algonquin currently in possession of the ball. They're driving it up center field. Small scuffle between Durham and Algonquin. Algonquin in possession. They're looking to keep control of that ball, but having a little difficulty with the attack from Durham. Algonquin sending it up center. Durham stealing it. And the ball is kicked out of play. Ball's back into play with possession of Durham. Durham making a big pass. Algonquin meeting it with a headbutt, sending it back. We get possession of the ball once again. Algonquin manages to steal the ball. Durham back in possession with the ball. The ball is passed. She's looking to make a big pass. Algonquin intercepts. Ball sent back into the center. Small scramble for the ball. Durham currently in position. Algonquin finding the ball, stealing the ball back. Small scuffle for the ball. Durham currently in possession of the ball. It's passed up, further into the Wolves' territory. Wolves with excellent defense, managing to stop the ball. Durham currently chasing the ball. Algonquin in possession of that ball. Algonquin with good defense, keeping it just away from their goalkeeper. Durham finding the ball, kicking it further back into Wolf territory once again. Durham currently fighting to keep possession of that ball. Meeting it with a big kick. Algonquin's goalkeeper manages to keep it away. Durham kicks. And Durham kicks it out of play. Ball is currently kicked back into play. The Wolves are currently fighting to keep it away from the goalpost. Durham in... Nope, and the ball is kicked out of play. Durham currently setting up the ball. Algonquin got possession, but kicked the ball out of play. Currently Algonquin in possession of the ball. They're trying to take it out of their territory. Durham fighting to gain possession of that ball. They chase it. They manage to get control of it, kicking it further back into their region. As we kick it back into the center field, Algonquin manages to steal it back. Durham manages to kick back once again. Currently we are in possession of the ball, looking for some small hole in their defense. Algonquin manages to defend, sending the ball further back. Looks like that ball might roll out of play. No, Algonquin manages to recover it as it's sent down to center field over into Durham territory. We manage to recover the ball and we accidentally kick it out of play. Our Lords are currently in possession of the ball. We kick it further downfield into Wolf territory. Wolves manage to defend, send it back into the center. Wolves with control of the ball at the moment. She's looking for a good pass. Passes it successfully. Will she be able to keep the ball? No, the Lords defense is too strong. Manages to break it and catch the ball. Algonquin manages to take the ball back. Back in the center field, over into Durham territory. Once again, our goalkeeper currently in possession of the ball. She's looking to pass that ball. Underhand toss. Sends it to one of our Lords. ball is now in possession of Algonquin, back in the center of the field. Algonquin sending it straight into Wolf territory. Currently in possession of the ball. Our Lords are looking to retake that ball. Our Lords are now in possession of the ball. Algonquin manages to steal it back and send it straight into center field, now pushing it back into Lords territory. Algonquin in possession, looking to send that ball home, and our Lords kick it out of play. Algonquin looking for a good pass on that ball, trying to drive into Durham territory. The ball is kicked out of play. Durham currently setting up on the ball, looking for a huge pass. The ball is sent into the center. Algonquin meets it with a headbutt, passing it further into into Lord's territory. Wolves currently in control of the ball. She's fighting to keep control as she has a relentless onslaught of Lord's defense. Algonquin makes a shot. Our goalkeeper manages to save the ball. She's currently looking to pass the ball to one of her fellow Lords. Waiting for a setup. Here she goes with a big kick, sending it into center field, which is met with a headbutt from Algonquin. Lords kick it further into Wolf territory. Will they be able to keep control of the ball? Currently we are in possession of the ball, looking for a good pass in order to send it into the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper of Algonquin manages to save the ball. She's looking for a big pass, passing it over to one of her Wolves. Algonquin currently in possession of the ball. Big kick from Algonquin, sending it straight down into Lord's territory. Currently, the goalkeeper has the ball. She picks it up, looking for a good pass. Sends it over to one of her fellow Lords. Lords with a big pass into center field. Oh. And the ball is kicked out of play. Currently our Lords in possession of the ball, looking to make a good pass. Overhand pass into our two defending Lords. Algonquin with good defense manages to get possession of the ball, keeping it away from the goalkeeper. There's a small trip from Durham to Algonquin. Whistle is blown. It looks like there is going to be a small setup for Algonquin. Algonquin's goalkeeper with a big kick once again. Our Lords managed to get possession of the ball. Keeping it at center field, passing it down into Wolf territory. Our ladies expertly weave through the defense. Oh, managed to get blocked. Small tumble. Algonquin in possession of the ball. Looks like our Lords are getting a free kick right now. Will they be able to make this goal? She's setting up. She's analyzing the defense of the Wolves right now. Currently setting up for a big kick. And she sends it. And it goes right over the goalpost. Algonquin's goalkeeper currently in possession of the ball. Looks like she's looking for a setup. setting up for one of her big power kicks once again. Here it is with a big kick. Algonquin is able to get control of the ball, keeping it away from Durham. Currently, they're dribbling pretty close to the edge of the game. There's a bit of a scramble, and the ball is sent out of play. Algonquin looking for a good setup, as they're currently in possession of the ball. The ball is tossed straight into Lord's territory. Lords manage to get the ball, and they kick it out of play. Algonquin currently in possession of the ball, kicking it closer to goalkeep. Goalkeep manages to catch the ball. She's looking for a setup, taking her time, good patience, waiting for a good setup from her fellow Lords. Here she is with a big kick, sends it straight into the center of the field. Algonquin manages to touch the ball. Will they be able to stop it from going out of play? Oh, Wolves managed to get possession of the ball, currently in control of it. Good defense on them. Currently, the Wolves are driving it out of their territory and sending it straight towards the center. Now in the center, there's a small scramble between the Lords and Wolves. There seems to be a small tumble on the Lords side. Wolves currently in possession of the ball, looking for a way to get through that Lords defense. Lords manage to take the ball back, and they send the ball straight into Wolf territory, managing to get possession of the ball. Currently good control from our attackers. And here we go. Wolves' defense managed to prevail over the Lords' attack. They're back in possession of the ball. They attempt to pass to one another, but Lords managed to get that ball. Lords accidentally kick it towards a Wolf. One of the Wolves get the ball. Now Lords are back in possession of the ball, heading back towards the center of the field. Center of the field, Wolves managed to get the ball back. She's currently dribbling the ball, looking for a good pass to her teammates. Lords intercept. The ball is sent back into Wolf territory. There's a scramble for the ball near the edge of the playing field. Lords in possession of the ball. They look for a goal, and they find one. From our number 3, Sage Thomas Roberts. The ball is reset, sent back towards Wolves territory. Wolves are currently in possession of the ball. Ball is kicked straight into Durham territory. Durham and Wolves are currently looking for control, and the ball is kicked out of play. I'm not sure by which side. Our Durham Lords looking to make a big kick. It sends it straight to one of the Algonquin attackers. Our Lords manage to defend, kicking it back into center field. We get possession of the ball. Currently driving it down. Durham Lords with a lot of heart, trying to keep possession of that ball. Algonquin kicks the ball out of play. Durham currently looking to toss the ball from outside the sideline, trying to get control of the ball, currently fighting Algonquin for it. Durham manages to send towards goalkeep. Algonquin's goalkeep catches the ball. She's currently in possession of it, looking for a big kick, sends it flying straight into the center of the field. Our Durham Lords meet it with a nasty headbutt. Algonquin manages to defend and keep possession of that ball. They send it further into Lord's territory. Our goalkeeper picks up the ball. She's currently waiting for our wonderful Lords to set up and be ready. She meets it with a kick, sends it into the center of the field. There's a small tumble, small foul play on our side, knocking one of the Wolves over. Algonquin looking for a good setup with the ball. Here we are. She's winding up, looking for a big kick. The ball is sent. Algonquin manages to catch the ball. Will they be able to stay in possession of the ball? No, the Lords managed to kick the ball. It seems to have been a small foul that may have occurred somewhere in that scramble. Ball is currently being set up in the Wolves' favor. Will they be able to make a goal off of this, or will Durham be able to successfully defend? The Wolves kick, but it's shot over the goalpost. Ball is now currently in possession of the Durham's goalie. She's looking for a setup right now, giving her team time to catch their breath. She's winding up for a big kick. Here she is. Lords are ready. Big kick from our goalkeeper. Algonquin manages to catch the ball, but Durham gets possession of it. Ball is sent down into center field. Wolves manage to push back a little bit. Will they be able to keep possession? There's a collision in the center of the field. Algonquin currently in possession of the ball. They kick it down. Ball is now in the heart of Lord's territory. Ball is sent towards our goalkeeper. Will she be able to block it? No, it lands on top of the goalpost. Safe for us. Here we go, goalkeeper back in possession of the ball. She's waiting for her fellow Lords to be set up, giving them time to breathe. She's setting up the ball for another big kick. Will it meet one of the Lords, or will it be sent to the Wolves? Here we go, another big kick coming from her. Back in the center of the field. Wolves manage to knock it back into Durham territory. Wolves are looking to score. Durham manages to defend, and the ball is sent straight out of play. Looks like there's a big scramble for the ball. Durham Lords managed to hit the ball closer to the center of the field. Wolves currently in possession of the ball. They're looking to make a goal. Durham back in possession of the ball, and the ball is kicked right out of play. Successful defense by the Lords. Currently our goalkeeper setting out the ball, rallying the troops. Waiting to make sure everybody's in possession. Looking for a big kick. Here it comes. It's sending it straight down. Algonquin manages to get the first touch on the ball, but Lords get the possession of the ball. Currently, ball is in play at the center of the field. We managed to pass it further down into Wolves' territory, managing good control. Will we be able to press on the attacker? Will the Algonquin Wolves be able to get possession of the ball again? Algonquin now currently in possession of the ball. No, Durham manages to take over, and the ball is out of play. Ball has been kicked by the Wolves goalkeeper. Currently, Algonquin is in possession of the ball. They're making some great passes, keeping good control, managing to pass to one another, getting good setup on our Durham Lords. They slowly approach into the center. Big kick from the Wolves straight into Durham territory. Wolves keep possession of the ball. Small tumble. Ball is kicked. And that is a goal for the Algonquin Wolves. Ball is back into play, and the Durham Lords kick it back over to the Wolves. Wolves manage to kick it back out of the territory. Wolves in possession of the ball currently. Nope, Durham is taking it back. Small tumble in the center. Ball is currently in possession of Algonquin. Algonquin seems to be struggling to keep possession of the ball. The whistle is blown. Algonquin sending up the ball. Lords and Wolves forming a line in order to secure this ball. Big kick from the Wolves. Our goalkeeper manages to catch the ball. Oh no, there's currently a scramble and the ball is kicked out of play. Ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude the game between the Durham Lords and the Algonquin Wolves, leading to the victory of Durham by 4 points and Algonquin with 2 points.